Today, the lab that we're going to be going over is the very first part of lab 1.3, which is squares, triangles, and stars, oh my. And what we're going to be going over is how to draw a square in Snap. So drawing a square in Snap is pretty simple. First, we have a clear block set out here so that I can go ahead and demonstrate some things. But in order to draw in Snap, the first thing we need is to put a pen down. Now, what the pen down block does is any time that my sprite over here on the right, my green sprite on the screen, we're going to set it to the center, moves, it's going to create a line, right? So when we put that pen down, starts, it creates a line, and then any subsequent motion creates a line, sort of in that direction. So I'm going to go ahead and take out a motion block because we want the pen to actually move. We're going to have move 10 steps. So I know 10 steps is a little bit small, so instead of 10, I'm going to go with 50. And the next step to drawing a square is to go ahead and turn. So a square is just a series of 90-degree turns. So I'm going to put 90 degrees. You can see right here I'm rotating counterclockwise to create this square. So as you can see, I'm going to go ahead and click it. And every time I click this, we create another line and turn 90 degrees. Now if I keep clicking, eventually my sprite creates a square. Now the whole point of this lab is to create a full square and then assign that script to an action that I can input here on my keyboard. So I'm going to go ahead and clear. Since I know a square is just a collection of 4 of these turns, what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate. This makes it so I don't have to go back in and set every single one of these blocks. I can just take the existing value, the existing turn, and not have to drag it back out onto the screen. So now I've cleared. I'm going to click my script. As you can see, it moves instantaneously and creates that square, right? Because it's doing each part of that movement that I just showed, but it's doing it 4 times in an instant, and it's creating the square. So the next thing that I want to do is assign this script to an action that I can input on my keyboard. So I'm going to go to Control, which is our yellow menu option right here on the left, and I'm going to take this block out right here. So when space key is pressed, I'm going to attach it to the top of my pen down block. Now anytime I press space, it's going to create a square. Part of the lab is assigning this to the number 1 key, so I'm going to change this selector to 1. And again, we have a much wider range of options we can assign to later. Let me go ahead and clear my space, and then as you can see, I'm not clicking it, and on my keyboard I press 1, and I create a square. And as you can see, that square is darkening a little bit every time I press on the keyboard. Another part that we want to do in this script is that we want the sprite to say that it's drawing a square when it's drawing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click say hello for 2 seconds, and I'm going to attach it to the bottom of my script. And what I'm going to do is change 2 to, let's say, 3 seconds, and I'm changing the text right here to square. So I'm clicking right there, and every time I press the number 1, you can see it draws, says squares for 2 seconds, and then goes away. And that is how you create a square or draw a square in Snap.